Woo! Hey everybody, I'm Yoko, and welcome to Dude Let's Draw. Today we're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna have an easy drawing, fun-filled day by drawing my favorite little guy, Kirby! Say hi, Kirby. Alright, let's get started. Let's draw! Alright, as you can see here, I was just playing around, having a silly little time. I drew Kirby. I don't know what that is, it's a Kirby. But I'll be drawing on my iPad today using Procreate. Feel free to follow along with whatever program that you have, but we're gonna go through and kill it. Alright, so I'm gonna clear this. I also want to do a video playback, and just so you guys know, you can erase your video time lapses, like I did that in 19 seconds, but you could just delete your recording, you could purge it. So let's get started. Kirby is so easy to draw, like, especially in Procreate. All you need is whatever drawing utensil you have. Procreate did an update. It is wonderful. It did another one from the last time I have used the drawing, and like, we'll see what's going down. So for Kirby, my guy is just so small and cute. Let's put a little reference here on the screen. Let's put him up there so you guys can see, okay? This way you can follow along. You can see Kirby in the corner, and bam, it'll be easy to follow. So, boop. There he is. There's Kirby right here. I'm gonna put him right above me. Hi, buddy. Hiya! And as you can see, actually, before that, as you can see, Kirby is just simply a circle. You could get quarters. You could get a protractor, which makes circles. You can even get a cup and trace the cup and make Kirby, all right? This is a tutorial for everybody, okay? All right. Kirby, you can sit right here. So in Procreate, though, we could do a perfect circle. I know I complain about circles all the time, but whatever. So what we're going to do is draw a big old circle, hold it and wait, put your finger right in the middle, and bam, we have a perfect circle. Oh man, but I think my circle line is too thick. So I'm going to edit undo. I'm going to make it a little less thick. And remember, I used monoline. Monoline automatically is in the calligraphy section, so don't worry about that. So I'm going to make the circle again. That seems like a more reasonable. Make sure it's closed. It'll shapen up. Hold your pencil down on the line. Put your finger in the middle. Bam. Perfect circle. Let's do his arms. So we'll put his arm. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. I'm going to go to my layers and move him. All right, now let's get his arm. His arm is like half of a circle here. And if you wait, bam, it adjusts. And then half of a circle here. Wait, bam, it adjusts. And you could go up and down. Oops. Let's try again. You could go up and down and adjust the size by holding it. So like, I want the lines not to touch. So let's see, I think that's close enough. And then I can just erase here. With my erase tool, tighten it up. Nice. Let's get his feetsies. Let's zoom in. And his feet are more like little shoes. So you take this here and go under, kind of like a triangle. You can also make it like, hold it like you did with the arms. His feet are a little bigger than his arms. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Cool, it straightens it out. Now let's get his eyes. One oval here. And if you bring your pen in to the drawing, it makes the eye smaller. If you move your pen out of the drawing, it makes it bigger. And you could let go. And then you're going to do the same thing again. Oops. Undo. On the inside for his eyes here. Make sure you touch the tip part. There we go. And look, you can be lazy. You can cut the eyes out. Make sure you're on the right layer. You take this little S tool here in the corner that's highlighted in blue. And you're going to stay on freehand mode. And then you're going to circle it. Do copy and paste. Check your layers. And bam, the eye is there. Okay? Then you're going to use the arrow tool. Move it. Make sure it's uniform, by the way. Make sure you stay on uniform. And then zoom in just a little bit so you could get into the middle of your drawing. And there you have it. You have the second eye. You didn't have to draw it. Isn't that awesome? You could also flip it too, because I don't like it in this direction. So I'm going to flip it. Bam. There we go. Now, let's go to our layers. We are going to combine the from selection and layer 1. What you need to do is take 2 fingers and pinch. Pinch. And, it's all on the same layer. Everything is all on the same layer. It's beautiful. We're already almost done. You should be proud of yourself. So now, we're going to make a upside down little triangle. Ready? Put a line like this. Oop, wait. Put a line like this. Make him smile. Because Kirby always smiles. You know? And then, I said upside down triangle, but make it curved. So see how mine is crooked? That's okay if it's crooked. If this is your first time doing this, don't worry about it. So I'm going to take my time with the outliner, go slowly, and wait. There we go. Now we have a smile. Let's put his tongue in there, another arch. Wait. It straightens it out. That's so cool. And then we're going to put his cheeks in. So put a little circle here for one cheek. And another circle here for the other cheek. Bada bing, bada boom. You have a Kirby! Now, I made his arms really, really big. But don't worry about it. What we're going to do next is color. I like to duplicate my lines just in case if I make a mess. So I'm going to do this one as lines. I always label my stuff so I know where I'm at. And then I am going to make this one color. And go click lines again. Click it one more time with your finger. And then you're going to make it a reference. This reference is so amazing because you do not have to mess with your lines or do anything crazy with the color. So the best part about Kirby is he comes in so many different colors. For this tutorial, I'm going to save it as a pink one. Usually I use a color picker and I will drag it into palettes and color pick the palettes. But today I'm not going to do that. I just want to keep it simple. So remember, on your lines, your reference is on. You're going to click color again. And then you're just going to drag and drop. Drag and drop. Drag and drop. Dude, we're already almost done. So let's get his shoes in there. We're still staying in pinkish land. I think this is close to his colors. Drag and drop. Drag and drop. Alright, let's get his tongue. And tongues are usually a little reddish pinkish. Stay in this area right here. And it looks like the inside of his mouth is dark. So let's do, sometimes when I do dark colors now, I pick like a dark blue or purple because sometimes I want my the lines to show up better. Let's get his pink cheeks. Let's go back to the pink. Sometimes if I can't get the pink that I want, I will select the colors that are already there. Let's just go, let's try this. It's like a reddish pink. Reddish pink. I think this will do. Put it in here. Put it in here. And now his eyes look black with blue in it. Okay, so let's put some black. I like to use a dark blue. And the reason for that is it makes it pop more. So let's just stick in the dark blue land. One here. Oh, but look. there's some crispy crumblies in here. So you can either take 2 fingers, edit undo, drag and drop the color. Do not let go of your pen. Move it forward until it's fully colored in. So easy. I love Procreate. And then do the same thing over here. It will memorize what you did, which is what I love about this program. So there we go. We have a fully colored Kirby. Now, if you notice in this picture, the Kirby, his eyes have blue in it, right? Like a midnight blue. So we're gonna add that in there. Here's another reason why it's so cool to have a different layer on there is when you want to put the details in, you can actually see it. So I'm going to put that, what's close to a midnight blue here? I think that's close to a midnight blue. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to add it. This doesn't need to be perfect. That's the best part. And I wonder if it'll work now. They did an update. That didn't quite work. But you can easily color it in. I like to use the monoline or monoline outliner for like sturdy lines like this, sturdy thick lines. And then I like to use a syrup brush to color in because it's like quick and easy. Now we're going to do the shadows, okay? Now what I like to do is have the lines at the top. Let's rename this lines. I keep saying that. And then in between we're going to do shadows. So I'm going to bring Kirby to the floor here. Again, this Kirby, let's zoom in. Look at him, you guys. Look at him. Look how cute. He's a sphere. He's a big old sphere. And the light is shinier at the top and darker at the bottom. So we're going to emulate that by making really easy, fun shape-a-roonies. All right. I said shape-a-roonies! Okay, cool. Usually when I do shadows, I like to use a purple. And for this, I'm going to outline with the monoline outliner. You can use any brush that you want, but for this tutorial, I'm just using this. I am going to emulate what Kirby has here. Oops. So I'm going to I'm going to turn off the color. No, you know what I'm going to do? Turn off the lines, leave the color, and just try and get like a crescent moon shape going on. I'm doing this part specifically so you... I'm doing this part just in case if you guys don't see it. I'm going to make it a little darker, There we go. All right. Let me bring it up a little more. Okay. And we're gonna get his shoes. Make it all connected. And you're probably thinking, why is Yoko doing this? This makes no sense. But trust me, it will. It will make sense. I'm just getting the shadows as I see them in the picture. And again, the light is coming from the top. And all you have to do is just make shapes, outline, and then there you have it. All right, cool. Now I'm going to turn the lines back on. Okay. Now let's clean up what we have here. Let's clean up any crispy crumblies, as I like to call them. You might hear me saying crispy crumbly a lot, because in Photoshop, yuck, it would literally leave like crispy crumbly pixels, and I am not about that life. I'm like so team over Photoshop. It's not funny. That's the wrong type of brush. Okay. That's good enough. Alright, so now that we have shadows, take your 2 fingers, click on it, and look, the opacity is at the top. Lower it. Right? Lower it. Wow, look at that. So because we used a purple, it looks like it's a gray shadow. Isn't that really awesome? And now you can add in the same vein, let's just say, let's go back to the shadows. Let's just say I want to take the pink and make a lighter pink. And maybe add... Ooh, let me get a different brush here. Let's try a soft brush. Just add a little highlight here to Kirby at the top, because the reference kind of has that. So now let's just do the same thing and bring it down. And, you know, it lightens his eyes a little bit, makes it look brighter. I don't personally like it. I'm going to take this off. But this is for your reference. Maybe you might like it. I don't know. It's your drawing. You do whatever you want. Alright. Blowing this back down. And, ooh, what if I wanted it to be softer? Let's go to this wand here again. A little wand at the top. And we're going to do Gaussian blur. Right? And like the opacity, you just go left and right. So I'm going to do a nice gentle Gaussian blur. And then if I want it to be darker, take your two fingers again, tap shadow. I said tap shadow! And then bring up the opacity so you can see the shadow popping out a little bit more. And there you have it. You have your Kirby all lit up, looking good. Isn't that cool? All right, one last secret. What if you want to change the color of the lines? Now remember, it is so important that you separate your lines, because if we couldn't separate our lines, we'd have to do everything manually. Just terrible, horrible, very no good, very bad day. But we're going to make the lines fancy. I'm paranoid, so I'm going to duplicate my lines and just hide it in this new group, just in case if I'm messy uppies. Messy uppies! Okay, click the lines. We're gonna do alpha lock. And you know it's an alpha lock because Kirby is like transparent behind. Dog! Sorry, I was talking to my dog. Take a different pink. Let's see, what's his pink? Alright, we want maybe a darker pink. And now you could just take any brush that you want. I'm going to use a studio pen because I'm lazy. Make it bigger. And then, bam! Look at you! You're coloring with different lines. And that goes for everything. And you're not disturbing the picture. You're just enhancing the lines. And suppose... Oh, man, I don't like that pink on his cheeks there. Just change the color. There you go. Look, you did it. You changed the color. Isn't that so cool? Now he's got like a bubblegummy, happy, tapular look, right? You got something to put on the fridge and print for mommy, okay? But you're a grown person. Drawing. Doing the thing. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. And, you know, tell me what you think in the comments, per usual. All right, everyone. Show me what Kirby you have at dude_let's_draw on Instagram. I'll be checking this week. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Bye! Kirby! Kirby, stop! Kirby, no! Kirby!